University's Urban Nights Update is next. Coming up, the latest on the Tennessee Waffle House shooting.
A mystery E. coli outbreak is affecting romaine lettuce coming from Arizona.
North Korea has agreed that they will suspend nuclear testing.
And an update on your Urban Nights athletic teams. All that more coming up on Urban Nights Update. Good evening, I'm Nikki Ma and El Martinez is joining me. The suspect shooter of Nashville Waffle House has been arrested near his apartment Monday morning. Authorities says it is not clear why 29-year-old Travis Reinking attacked the Waffle House and thinks he may have mental issues. The restaurant had about 20 people inside. 4 were killed and many others injured. A customer wrestled the weapon away and Reinking ran out. Reinking has agreed to go to a hospital for evaluation after several resisting.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un says they no longer need to test nuclear weapons, that they have been successfully tested and all nuclear tests that were scheduled will be suspended. Although many are still skeptical, President Trump has announced that he will be meeting with the North Korean leader in 6 days, and the latest tweet responded, "This is very good news for North Korea and the world. Big progress." The travel ban that was first introduced by President Trump in January 2017 is back. The new version of his proposal includes countries such as North Korea, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. The proposal has also specified that select Venezuelan government officials and their families will be banned as well. The State Department has cleared more than 430 visa applicants from the affected countries and says the ban will not apply to travelers who already have travel visas.
More trouble at the voting booth of Mitt Romney. The former Massachusetts senator was unable to get the 60% threshold that he needed to secure his spot in the GOP election. Now Romney will have to go up against Utah State Representative Mike Kenney in other vote on June 26. However, it is looking like Romney is favored to win the seat. He is widely admired in the state of Utah thanks to him saving the Salt Lake City Olympic Games back in 2002. Erin Popovich, the wife of the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, passed away last week due to a long battle with a respiratory illness. The Popovich have been married for over 4 decades and have 2 children and 2 grandchildren. Funeral information has not yet been released. The team released a statement asking the media to respect the family's privacy during this difficult time.
Now let's send it over to this week's Roundtable, where we have our host Andrew Liel talking about how our Bay Area sports teams are doing in the playoffs.
I'm Andrew Liel, and today we're going to be talking about our Bay Area sports teams with our roundtable with Christian Carter, Gary, and Christian Solorzano. So we're going to start off with the Warriors and their chances to repeat. How do you guys feel about that, even with an injured Steph Curry? Christian?
Well, last year they went undefeated until they went to the playoffs, so it's kind of different going in this year. The Rockets are pretty good. You also have the 76ers on the East that are looking pretty good and young, and they just got Joel Embiid back. So I think the chances of them repeating probably like 80% right now, but it's looking pretty good still.
Looking pretty good. What about you, Gary?
Right now, I'm looking at the early games, and right now you have the Pelicans playing really good. The Rockets are playing good, and the Utah Jazz, they're playing good, and even though they're pretty young. I don't think it's really likely for the Warriors to repeat it just on if Curry comes back. He's not going to be 100%, and I already see them struggling with other teams in the West, like the Houston Rockets. Like, I think that's the team, like this year, that they'll get over the hump and win a championship.
Very interesting. What about you, Christian?
For me, Curry's out, but you don't need to rely on just one player. You know, it's a team game. It's more than just one player involved. So I mean, I feel like they have a good chance, but they got some stiff competition this year. We'll see how things go.
So if you guys had to choose two teams to be in the finals, what is it going to be?
Right now, I'm going for the Sixers and the Warriors.
Sixers and Warriors. What about you, Gary?
The Rockets,
Rockets.
and I'd like to see the Sixers, but I feel like it's gonna be Toronto.
Toronto. Really interesting. What about you, Christian?
I'm gonna say the Warriors and the Sixers as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Warriors and
we've been
Sixers.
trusting the process and it's coming through. So
Sixers seem to be a favorite, I'm assuming, in the
They
East
are,
now
man.
with LeBron.
The LeBron era is gone.
LeBron era is gone.
Yes.
I don't think the era's gone, but his
Yeah,
surrounding
Yeah,
cast.
his surrounding cast is gone. So
His surrounding cast is gone, so you can't do it by himself.
he can't.
You can't.
Nah,
All right.
nah, Kyrie, that era is gone. Him and Kyrie era is gone. So
All right, so now let's shift things over to the ice
Yeah.
and our other playoff team, which is the San Jose Sharks. They are playing an expansion team, first year in the league. How do you guys feel about them going against the Golden Knights?
I believe the Las Vegas team might actually eliminate them. There's a lot of support for a new team going on. It's the first time in the league and first time in the playoffs, so it might be a little story going on for them.
Wow.
We'll see.
Wow. What about you, Gary?
I mean, I agree with him. I think the Vegas team could eliminate them. I feel like right now I'm just anti the Bay right now. I'm going against them with everything. But I definitely think the Vegas team can win. I know everyone in Vegas is probably really excited to have a team out there that they could support, and yeah, I definitely see them winning.
You see them winning. Wow. So we got Vegas. What about you, Christian?
I think experience is gonna, overcome, the two teams. So I think the Sharks is gonna, they're gonna give it to the Golden Knights, but it's gonna be a tough battle. They're gonna go 7 games. They're gonna go the whole
7 games. Wow.
Sharks in 7.
Sharks in 7. So we got our Bay Area guy right here. All right.
Got to hold
Awesome.
it down for the Bay.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys for this roundtable, Christian, Gary, and Christian Solorzano. I'm Andrew Liel, and that is our roundtable. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Andrew, and great job to our Bay Area sports teams so far as they get closer to the championship.
Famous Swedish DJ Avicii passed away Friday afternoon on April 20th. There is no information of the cause of his sudden death, but a documentary of Avicii shows his struggle with a number of physical and mental health issues, including anxiety and depression. Concussion is a serious head trauma that can have a long-lasting effect on people. Andrew Liao has more on the story about concussion in football.
A lot of us are tough and don't want to admit that we're injured.
Football players take countless hits, resulting in lifelong injuries. The most talked about are concussions. One San Jose State football player felt the need to speak out but wanted to remain anonymous.
I think it's safer if we admit that we're injured, get the proper treatment, and then get back when we're actually physically ready. My general knowledge is they happen in football, and even like when you get your bell rung, that's what we used to call it, that's still a concussion, and they're very dangerous, and they need to be treated with proper care.
These players are practicing with extra padding on their helmets to reduce the chances of head injuries. The NFL has provided $100 million in research to find ways to reduce the amount of head injuries for future football players. Spartans wide receiver coach says it's harder to detect than a typical football injury.
A concussion is a concussion. Right? It's brain trauma at some capacity. Obviously, I think some are harder than others, but it still is trauma. You got to have, it's the same thing as you continue playing with a sprained ankle. There's some rehab to it. You got to let your body recover. If the body's hurt, it's going to let you know, and you have to let it recover.
The NFL has been under fire about concussions more than college football, and the NFL has taken action after 281 concussions were reported in 2017. The NFL has donated $100 million in research to find ways to prevent concussions to future players. In San Jose, I'm Andrew Liao with your Urban Knights update.
The NFL is adding new rules every year to try and reduce the amount of head injury for future players. 2 men were arrested in a Starbucks in Philadelphia. They spoke out for the first time on Tuesday and said they fear for their lives. Hours later, the city's police chief apologized for his handling of the fallout of the video of the arrest went viral, promoting outrage and accusation of racism against both the coffee company and the police.
April 20th marked the 19th anniversary of the Columbine High School shooting, where 13 people were killed. This Friday, students all over the country from more than 2,500 schools walked out of their classes in demand for action on gun reform. Some elementary school students walked out on their own, and others had to make up for the missed school on Saturday. Did you know you can still make local calls using a payphone? I had the chance to go find an old form of communication that is still accessible to the people of San Francisco. Payphones, once needed to make calls when you couldn't be near your landline, are now considered nostalgia.
No, I have not seen a payphone in San Francisco. I see public toilets more than those. So.
There are over 200 working payphones in San Francisco. The majority of them are in the transportation systems around the city.
I don't know how to use a payphone, I guess. I just know you have to put quarters in it. There's also a payphone, I think, at Powell BART station too, but I'm not sure.
The payphones surrounding San Francisco cost 50 cents and also offer free calls for certain services.
I definitely know how to use one. I just feel like cell phones are way more functional. I might use a payphone if an emergency situation, but then at that point you're like, oh, do I have change? So they're definitely useful. They're good to have around, but I don't want to call them obsolete, right? But yeah, it's been a minute.
I'm El Martinez with your Urban Knights update. If you're ever in need of communication and your phone is dead, now you know there's still a way to make a call.
Do you have an auto loan or mortgage with Wells Fargo? You may have some money coming your way. Wells Fargo was ordered last week to pay $1 billion to the federal regulators to settle charges associated with the bank misconduct. Auto loans consumers claim that the bank would make them purchase insurance that they didn't want, often putting them into debt and not able to make their auto payment, resulting in a repossession. No timeline has been released for when consumers can expect a compensation check.
Apple is set to discontinue the iPhone X. This news comes after Apple released the news of having 3 new versions of the iPhone X that are set to be released this September. The price for the first model, the iPhone X SE, will begin at $799 and will increase by $100 depending on the model. The second iPhone X generation is priced at $899, and the iPhone X Plus, which will be their top-of-the-line iPhone X, will be priced at $999. With the weather outside becoming nicer by the day, it only means one thing: baseball season is here. Nicole Lauer went behind the scenes to look into one special Little League coach and why he traded his professional cleats to be a coach.
The American League West right now 3 up on the Angels. Swung on, fly ball, deep right field, they've done it again!
Before the home runs are hit in the big leagues, the fundamentals of baseball are learned here on the Little League fields. Tariq Fleming started playing ball at a young age. He went on to play in the minors and now works with the Oakland Athletics management team. But it's his work off of the major league field that is making a difference in the community. Tariq gives up his weekend for 4 months to mold up-and-coming baseball players, starting with Little League. I had a chance to sit down with Tariq to find out why this is such an important thing to do in his life.
So I was introduced to the game of baseball at 3 years old. It was actually my mother that taught me how to play. And in doing so, I've made life lessons that, you know, still to this day, including our assistant coach. So it's very important, obviously, for kids to learn life lessons just as much as they're learning the skills.
The fundamentals are always a focus for Tariq because, as everyone knows, a good baseball player grips the ball along the stitches.
One of the things that we really want to stress is learning to respect the game. There's obviously different sports that a lot of kids are being introduced to and playing, but learning the nuances and the little things that are going to set them apart once they get to the next level is key for us. So that's why stretching and proper placement of the bat, making sure that you're rooting on your teammates, things like that, it's very important to us.
Even with such a serious coach, the kids still find moments to, well, be kids. Coming to you from Oakland, I am Nicole Lauer with Urban Knights Report.
Thanks, Nicole. It is so great to see young kids getting outside and being passionate about a sport at such a young age.
It's time for postseason sports as Urban Knights gear up for conference championship. Here's Christian Carter with the latest.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christian Carter, here to give you everything on Urban Knights sports. So let's dive right in. It was a big weekend for the Urban Knights as the track team competed in SoCal at the Mount SAC Invitational. This was the last tune-up meet before the Pac-West Championship that began Friday, April 27th. To kick things off, I spoke with Coach LaSure and multi-athlete Ryan Young-Werner on what we can expect leading into the week as the team prepares for conference.
I'm kind of used to doing a lot of stuff and going back and forth all the time, mostly because jumps and sprints, they're kind of at the same time a lot of the times. And so I was pretty used to it, and I was kind of just, as he said, they was preparing me for the conference meet because I'm going to be doing a lot. And I was mostly afraid of doing the 400 because I've never done an open one before, so that was my first one. And I had triple jump after, I'm like, yo, because last year at conference, I did the 200 and I was like cramped up in the triple jump. But then this year, that didn't happen at all. I was smooth throughout all of my events. The times weren't what I was expecting, but you know, it's just the start. And I feel like I'm in a good place right now with how in shape I am, and I feel the strongest I've ever had. So I'm excited for the season, and I think I'm prepared.
As Ryan mentioned, we want to be prepared for the conference meet. We don't want the conference meet the first time that you see any of that load. Now we can kind of back off a little bit this week and be ready for conference in 2 weeks. And you know, it won't be the first time that their bodies are going through that, and you know, they go into shock. You know.
The men's 4x1 relay came fourth, which gives them the top spot going into conference. The women's relay team was sixth in their heat, which leaves them as second in this event going into conference. Other standout performances include Balade Ajamale's second place finish in the 200-meter dash and Ryan Young-Werner's third place finish in the 200. Marion Persigny also ran a time of 14:09 in the 100-meter hurdles, which puts her number one in the Pac-West Conference. From the track to the court, Academy of Arts women's tennis team is also preparing for conference. The Knights had no trouble dominating Holy Names in the final matches of the regular season. The victories would solidify the season sweep of the Hawks. Sophomore Christina Gross and Coach Clarice Baca reflect on the matches and also looking forward to conference.
I think we all gave our best today, especially some of us are injured, so I'm very proud that we won today. And everybody gave a lot of effort. That was super cool.
We're very happy. It's our first, Crispy and I were our first season here at the Academy of Arts, so we're very excited about it. I think it went too fast. I don't know, I wish we would have a couple more matches, but today's match went really well. Like Christina was saying, we had a couple of players that are not feeling 100%, but I'm pretty sure they will be ready for conference. We start strong with 3 doubles wins. That was nice. I don't think we have won 3 doubles in a while. So that was a really good start for us. And then again, Christina winning her first ever doubles and singles match at the same time. That was really nice to give her confidence for conference. And we're just looking forward to play conference. We're seated hopefully number 2, not official yet. And with that, just get it ready. Our first match will be on Thursday. at 9 a.m. So we're looking forward to that and hopefully come back with the trophy home.
Good luck to the Urban Knights. We'll be rooting for you. That's all for this week's sports. Tune in next week for the conference results.
Have you ever thought of becoming a mascot for a professional sports team? Well, Andrew Liao went to the San Jose Giants to find out about the life of a mascot.
Being a mascot can be a lot of fun, but people may not know how hard it really is. Mascot of the San Jose Giants, Gigante, explains the conditioning needed for the job.
Advice for people who want to be a mascot, conditioning. Make sure you get rest, proper rest, stretching, hydration, nutrition, developing your character, whatever your character is. If it's a snail, you look up snails and see what snails do. If it's a gorilla, you look and see what gorillas do. Watch videos on these animals or these characters, and that will help you with the character, bringing that to life. Building up confidence in front of lots of people is kind of something either you're born with. It's not something you can necessarily be taught, because fear is a monster, and if you can't conquer fears, it's hard to maneuver in life. Somehow being behind a mask really helps that get over that fear, but it still has to be a talented person in suit to make the character come to life.
7.
That's a 7, that's 15. And it's
Yeah.
not about too many. We've got 2 winners.
The most meaningful part about being a mascot to me is the expression on kids' faces, adults' faces, cute faces. They came to see a game, but I'm the entertainment. When something on the side or something during the game is kind of boring, you kind of look around to the mascot to relieve the attention.
Everybody smile.
Get somebody to laugh, make someone have a good time.
Gigante does everything around the stadium, from pumping up the crowd, taking pictures, and even serving food. After the game, it's off to bed. Nighty-night for Gigante, better get some rest. In San Jose, I'm Andrew Liao, and that's your Urban Knights update.
Seems like a fun job, especially you love baseball. Shooting your shots in the 2018 has been the saying so far for the youth. We have Gary Davis on the Young Athletics actually shooting their shots.
Most might think of beer pong as a way for young adults to have fun and drink, but Academy of Art thinks of it as a way to raise money and bring the sports team together with their own twist, Gatorade Pong.
Okay, so for this year's Make-A-Wish Foundation, we came up with Gatorade Pong, which was basically we gathered all the athletes through word of mouth, text, email, and the athletes had to come up with a partner and a team name. Like the team name, for example, like the baseball players would come up with like the Giants, and basketball players, the Cavs, stuff like that, just to bring more like competitiveness to it. And then once the teams were set, each team would donate $5 that would go into the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And honestly, it was a great turnout. We had a great time. All the athletes gathered in one room, which was awesome. And like something simple like Gatorade Pong, it really brought out like all the competitiveness, and it was an awesome time. And I hope next year we can do it again, because like I said, I had a great time, and I'm pretty sure all the athletes had a great time too.
All was fun and games, but someone had to win and someone had to lose. Cameron on his great experience, but sad loss.
Pong. My experience with Gatorade Pong was pretty fun. Even though me and my teammate didn't get the dub, we still had a great time. It was nice being around a bunch of great people, just trying to have fun, and then us athletes being all competitive. It was a good environment to be around. I think I'll definitely go back to Gatorade Pong next year. I would like to see more than just athletes there. I feel like there's kind of a separation between the athletes and the students here. I don't know why, but it'd be nice to see some regular classmates and just a bigger, more diverse group.
In San Francisco, I'm Gary Davis with your Urban Knights update.
Congrats to the Academy of Art men's soccer team on winning the championship. Next year, the annual Academy of Art Gatorade Pong Games will be on April 5th, 2019. So make sure you sign up early.
The Center for Disease Control is bringing attention to its warning of a romaine lettuce that could be tainted with E. coli. This E. coli outbreak is responsible for at least 53 people falling ill, including 31 hospitalizations over 16 states. The CDC has already warned consumers only about chopped romaine lettuce, but now they're saying that any romaine lettuce from the Yuma, Arizona region should be thrown out.
Marijuana is legal in California now. So what does that mean for the Bay Area on 420? It means that approximately 20,000 people showed up to Hippie Hill to celebrate the first legal 420. It also meant emergency service will be busy. SFPD made 3 arrests for DUI involving marijuana. 6 people were evacuated and 12 others were sent to emergency care. Madeline Mars, a former substitute teacher, must register as a Tier 3 sex offender after being sexually involved with 2 students in the state of Ohio. Now she must register her address every 90 days for the rest of her life. Although she avoided jail time, she did receive 5 years probation on each of the 2 counts of sexual battery.
Now we head over to Dante for the latest entertainment update.
What's up, everybody? We had plenty of updates in the entertainment world this past week, so let's get right into it. Kanye West took it to Twitter to announce his return in a couple of different ways. He first announced that he will release a 7-song album on June 1st. Shortly after that, he announced that him and Kid Cudi would have an album that would release on June 8th. They call their group Kids See Ghosts, so be on the lookout for them. Ye also hinted at upcoming work from other artists such as Tiana Taylor on June 22nd and Pusha T on May 25th. Finishing up on Twitter, he announced the latest of his fashion line. He showed more colorways of the newly released Yeezy 500, a rough draft of the Yeezy Slides, and an early prototype of the Yeezy 451. The real is back, the Ville is back, his flow is so bananas, he said Pilled is back. It is the return of J. Cole with his new album that was just released, KOD. Cole announced that KOD has 3 meanings: Kids on Drugs, King Overdosed, and Kill Our Demons. Cole has become known for creating albums that go double platinum with no features, but it looks like that run would come to an end with this album, KOD. 2 songs on the album feature an artist named Kill Edward. However, the internet quickly discovered that Killed Edward is just J. Cole's alter ego, and it is, in fact, just his voice slowed down. Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish team up for a new comedy, Night School. Here's the trailer for the upcoming film.
All right, let's do some introductions. My name is Carrie. I'm here to make a little extra cash so that I can afford this warrant that I got. But that's none of y'all business. Welcome to Night School.
This book is kind of thick. I thought it'd be more like a leaflet.
If you're not gonna do the work, drop the class.
No, I'm gonna do the work. You'll see.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Great.
Superb.
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a financial analyst?
I am, and it starts immediately. I've been waiting on the Lord to bring me a pint-sized little man who can fill this out. Come and get your chicken from the Lord.
You take that test, or I tenderize your ass.
I rebuke you.
Take this damn suit off. Are you trying to get your GED? Are you trying to get your GED?
Yes.
You can get out my way, bitch. My suspicions were correct.
Boom.
You're clinically dumb. There is no cure for what you have.
Oh my God. I got learning herpes? I got the gift to keep on giving?
Boy.
Night School is set to release September 28th. That wraps it up for me in entertainment. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, Dante. That's it for this edition of Urban Nights Update. I'm El Martinez.
And I'm Nikki Ma. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. See you back next time.